Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Mike Armstrong podcast show. And this evening, I think it's early afternoon in stateside, we're joined by Meghan Johnson Zucaro, who is an entrepreneur and producer of the Soaring Summit, which is an amazing event happening in 2021 with 30 amazing people from around the world. Who will be coming on and inspiring other entrepreneurs and other business people to do what they want to in life. So how are you doing today, Meghan? You okay?
I'm doing spectacular, Mike, and I'm so glad to be here with you because you are amazing and do amazing things. And like I've said to you before, I absolutely love the sunglasses because I always have something on my head as a headband, either my eyeglasses or my sunglasses. So it's always fun to it's always fun to be with like-minded people.
Well, that's it. When your future's so bright, you've got to wear shades.
Well, you know, I've always said there's nothing like a pair of glasses that holds your hair better than anything.
I'm quite lucky. My hair is quite short, so I don't need the extra prop. But they will work that way. It's a rare sight to my eyes. I've always got my sunglasses on, but there we are.
Well, thank you so much for the introduction. I'm really excited to be here, and I'm very excited to be having the Soaring Summit for 2021. It's been really fun. You know, my background is news reporting and news anchoring, and that's what I went to school for. So I love television, and I love interviewing and getting people's background and story. And so I've really enjoyed meeting so many people in 2020, like I would never have met before if it wasn't for COVID. And so it's given me an opportunity to meet amazing people and share their stories with other people so we can help everybody progress. And the whole goal is everybody's got a purpose. And the whole goal is being able to put people's passion to the pavement and helping them have a voice and helping them know that everybody's story can inspire somebody else to do something they want to do.
That's brilliant. Yeah, that's brilliant. And that's sort of part of the mission that I sort of switched in and tuned into this sort of year, really, at the start of the pandemic. I started creating my podcast to help give people positivity and a bit of motivation because I felt it was all getting very negative, very doom and gloomy. And I discovered my voice because I've always wanted to be a speaker, and I decided to start the podcast, get me on that road to becoming a speaker. I really found my passion to help others around the world, like you say, meeting people you just wouldn't normally meet in every day-to-day life and before a pandemic. And I'm now looking to try and encourage more and more people to find their voice, to follow their true path in life, because it's an exciting one and it's a journey that they're really going to be inspired by and really enjoy, being part of. So, yes, I really... I think what you're doing is fantastic. I believe in it 100% myself. So tell us a little bit about the Soaring Summit, how it come about and what its intentions are, etc.
Well, you know how it came about. So I've done a couple of books in my past. And when I started doing all of this networking in 2020, I realized I'm a big action person, take action to make things happen. And I have a fun, interesting story of my background and the things I've done, from news anchoring to Miss Texas to lots of different things. But the thing that I found when I was starting to talk with people is they weren't really sure about how to put it out there, how to spread the word. Well, I've always been good at creating events and putting things together and bringing people together. So I thought, since everything is virtual and everything is online, I had already planned on putting together an event at the Beverly Hilton in Beverly Hills. And so I thought, I'm just going to change everything. I'm just going to change everything and I'm going to put it together as a virtual event. And so I really have to thank COVID for making me think that way, because I've realized now I really don't want to go back to how it was in the past. Doing virtual and being able to sit at your home and talk to people and meet people from all over the world, it's spectacular. I never would have met the people like yourself, or in Peru, wherever, all over the place. And it's because of 2020.
That's right. Yeah, it's been awesome. I myself, I've got a mastermind group. I've interviewed about 250 people on my podcast and YouTube channel since the middle of June. And I've handpicked the ones who I felt were right to form a mastermind, the ones that I thought would fit in well with the group. In fact, I think you'd fit in there really well as well. And a couple of people mutual contacts who are in that group, but they're people who are global thinkers. They're professionally involved in communication in some way. I call them the strong communicators. And they're people who like helping others and share, you know, collaboration, ethos and philosophy, if you like. And I've handpicked people from all around the world into that global mastermind. And the only challenge I got is I got people from West Coast USA right the way to Sydney, Australia, just trying to find a time that works for everybody, because it literally spans, you know, the whole sort of land mass of the globe, really.
It's so true. Well, I felt bad when I realized it was going to be 9:30 your time, but you know, I'm up early, and you know, I always say you've got pretty much from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. and so you can fit everybody's time schedules in there.
yeah, definitely. And I'm quite lucky. I don't see podcasting and chatting with people and getting to know them as work, which means I'll do it at any time of day or night. So I've been on, you know, 7 o'clock in the morning to Australia, or I've been on, you know, midnight, you know, to the USA, you know, and okay, you know, at the end of the day, I like meeting people. At the end of the day, we can't do anything but in lockdown, in and out of lockdown, most of the time anyway. I'm a social animal. I love speaking to people, meeting people, getting to know them. But for me, you know, I've even like been sort of like watching TV, snoozing in the evening between sort of like 9, 10, 11, and then got up for a podcast at 12 o'clock in the night. You know, I woke myself up a bit and thought, like, let's go have a chat or meet somebody.
Well, I would love to be, part of your mastermind group, because you are absolutely a blast to talk with. And I know you had a couple of weeks that you've taken off, but I know you were entertaining yourself the whole time in your home, because I can just tell you have fun no matter where you're at.
Yeah, well, that's it. You know, I think I'm somebody who believes there's only one life, and you might as well spend as much of it as possible being happy. So actually, I created a happiness formula. So I've actually got a formula to help other people become more happier, because at the start of lockdown, I've actually had one of the most productive years of my life, which therefore equals, you know, one of the most happiest periods of my life. And at the start of the lockdown, especially sort of March to June, it was one of the most happiest and productive periods of my entire life. And the reason being, I was actually ticking off life goals, stuff that had been in my plan all my life to tick off. Like I wrote a book, like starting a podcast, like going globally networking. You know, I've got a map of the world, and I just love meeting people and speaking to people about different cultures and different experiences around the world. And so, you know, I was actually living a routine, a daily routine, which was making me one of the happiest periods in my life. And part of that daily routine was achievement. And I think human beings do like to grow. They like to develop. They like to grow. They like to become better at whatever it is that they're doing in life. And so a big part of my formula is achievement as well, but it's also looking after yourself. And at the start of lockdown, I went into a fitness mode, because I was thinking, there's a killer virus around. You might as well get fit. You know what I mean? So I was like exercising every day, eating healthily, you know, all of those sort of extra stuff, which is brilliant for productivity. And once you're actually producing stuff and ticking it off as well, if like most people in life, you like achievement, you'll get that done. And then I actually created a formula out of what I was doing and what I was living. So I want to spread happiness around the world by getting people to follow my formula for happiness.
Absolutely. Well, it's, you know, it always starts within. Happiness starts within. And that's a great way. And this year has given us the opportunity, what I would say, of being able to be still. You know, I used to run from appointment to appointment to appointment all over the place. And now it's like really nice to be able to be still, jump on Zoom and have your appointment, get off Zoom, wait a minute, go on Zoom. And it's been really nice, because it's much less stressful than going from appointment to appointment, especially in Los Angeles, where you're driving in crazy traffic constantly.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm into efficiency. In fact, I've got a success formula as well, which I created after my happiness formula, right? And it's called STREAMS, which stands for Systems, Technology, Relationships, Efficiency, Action, Marketing, and Sales. And the efficiency in there is, I love efficiency. I've been very successful in my career and in my life because of working to an efficient formula, trying to make everything I do in life more efficient, which gives you more time to do the things you want to enjoy in life and not just the stuff that you feel you have to do to get on. So efficiency is a big thing for me. And that's the reason I've been working from home for the last 8 years, is because I hate the thought of and the idea of and the process of being stuck in traffic, wasting time, commuting, all of this sort of wasted time, which just drives you nuts. And I just think I'd rather be at the gym, for an hour than just sat in the car, not moving anywhere and all these sort of things. So I used to avoid rush hour like the plague. I used to go and do appointments. My first one in the morning would be 10 o'clock and my last one in the afternoon would be 3 o'clock. I could get them done, so I can leave after rush hour, at the first appointment, or get it done and get home before the rush hour, because I'd much rather be doing something else with my time than sat there wasting years of my life. If you have all those couple of hours a day, you're wasting years of your life that you'll never get back with nothing, wasting your time.
I know, one of the things that makes me think of traffic out here in California, and one of my friends wrote a book on exercises to do in your car while driving in traffic. Because people were sitting in traffic for like, so it's like, on your steering wheel, you're pressuring in.
Yeah. I've done stuff like that to while away the day. In fact, sometimes I used to listen to music a lot, especially because I was in sales. I used to listen to high tempo music to get myself up, to get yourself upbeat, ready for the next appointments or whatever, But then I started doing quite a lot of listening to sort of audio books and YouTube videos and stuff like that, and just use it as a time to learn and develop and to grow, rather than just be sat there frustrated and annoyed that you're not really going anywhere fast, So
yep, because that whole talking on the cell phone has definitely gotten me in trouble with tickets and rear ends.
Yes, well, yeah, you got to be careful. I don't know if there's a rule in the US. They seem to be more relaxed on the rule of using your phones and stuff in the cars, but in the UK,
yeah, you're not supposed to. Everything is hands free. You're not supposed to use your phone, but sometimes you just have it. But yeah, you're absolutely going to be using your phone. It's supposed to be hands free. And now I've gotten to a point where I just put do not disturb, and I don't even use my phone when I'm driving, because it's not worth the risk.
No, definitely. So I'd rather listen to audiobooks or YouTube videos, motivation, inspiration, education. For me, as somebody who's looking to become a global speaker, the more people I can listen to and learn techniques off and quotes from and all that, it's all part of the rich tapestry of life. And, to me, it's about, I listen to the best people on the planet in the areas that I want to be the best person on the planet in, because I've got to know where the bar's set. I got to know the level. I got to decipher the expectation of what I need to do and achieve in order to hit those heights. So I spend a lot of my time researching and studying other people.
Well, it's really amazing that you've interviewed 250 people this year. I think you're well on your way with 250. That's almost one. I mean, that's pretty much an interview a day.
Yeah, definitely. Especially as I didn't start at the 10th of June. I think I started the 10th of June doing dual podcast interviews, and then I switched it to doing YouTube videos via Zoom by towards the end of June. So at one point in the summer, I was doing between 5 and 8 podcast episodes a day, and sometimes 5 of those would be dual chats.
Well, I subscribe to your YouTube channel, and I think it's spectacular. I think it's great. So I'm honored to be here to be talking to you. I just am honored.
Brilliant. Thank you. I'm honored to have you on as well. You mentioned something earlier on, which I wasn't going to let pass. A former Miss Texas, you said.
Yeah, Mrs. Texas. Yes, I was in 2008. And it was a huge honor. I'm originally from Minnesota. But I was Mrs. Texas in 2008, and it was a great year. I used that year to speak all over the place and help my big mission, because my children at the time were 2, 3, and 4, And my big mission was helping kids. So I spoke at a lot of schools, and I spoke in a lot of different avenues, promoting, help with kids. And it was really positive. I really enjoyed it. And, I really kind of thought it would be one of those things where it was my 2008, 2009, but it's something that's just kind of stayed with me and kept with me for a long time. Now it's 2020. But it was a huge honor, and it was a lot of fun to do. And it was honestly by the grace of God that I won, because I was never like in pageants. I had modeled since I was 14, and I was in TV and home shopping, home shopping modeling host in college and that kind of stuff. But I was never, I never had really done pageants. And it was really funny because everywhere I would go, people would say, "Oh, you should be in a pageant. Oh, you should be in a pageant." And I never really thought about it. And then I was at an event, and Lee Greenwood was there, that singer who does God Bless Him, or what is it? I should know the song. Lee Greenwood, everybody knows that song that he sings. It's famous. But he said to me, "You should be in a pageant." And I said, "Everybody tells me that." So one night when I was sitting in my house in Texas, I Google Texas pageants. And I signed up. And I went and grabbed clothes from my closet, just figuring, I can do this. And I showed up, and I was like, wow, these women were amazing, just professional, just incredible women. And I lost by like a half a point. Oh. And the director of the pageant pulled me aside, and she said, "You really should try again next year." And I said, "Oh no," I said, "this has been an amazing experience. The women are incredible, and they're just professional doctors, attorneys, just amazing women, all children, moms, wives." And she said, "You really should give it a shot." She said, "You came here and never have done this before. You should try one more time." So I thought, okay. So I went and I, got a little bit of training. And the lady who had been Mrs. Texas the year prior to me pulled me aside, and she said, "I'm going to help you." And she said, "Let me help you, kind of like learn some of the pageantry of it all." So she really helped me, Terry Jaggers, and she taught me how to stand. She taught me how to walk in my swimsuit. She taught me how to do my hair and all that kind of stuff. And by the grace of God, the next year I went back, and it's 3 competitions. It's swimwear, evening gown, and interview. An interview, obviously, I love the interview part. It was my whole thing. And so I had worked out really hard to get just really lean and cut. And then the evening gown walked out. And normally an evening gown is not a problem. But for whatever reason, this day I ran into the curtain in my evening gown.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm going to need a little bit more help than this one."
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So anyway, but by the grace of God, I got into the top 10, and when it goes to the top 10, then it all starts over again. So I won. I absolutely won. And it was a huge honor. In fact, Steve Gallegos, who is still a dear friend of mine, he was a photographer during that time. And he got a shot of me sitting in my evening gown like this, and I was praying behind the curtains after I had ran into it. So that was a fun season in my life. It really was.
Yeah,
the kids, and I took all the kids to the parades. We had a Hummer at the time, and so the kids and I would, my kid's dad would drive the Hummer, and the kids and I would sit on top of the Hummer and wave for parades, and so they thought that was kind of fun.
That's cool. That's good. That's good. So yeah, it's good to push yourself outside of your boundaries and try something new. And you never know, if you get a bit of help along the way, you can achieve what you don't necessarily believe at the time is possible.
Absolutely. You know what? That's one thing that I definitely have learned over the last few years is knowledge and education, and those things are really important, and learning and stepping out of your comfort zone is huge. But as long as you have an open mind and you're driven and you're not afraid, because so many people are afraid that it's not going to work. But I always say that if you don't try, then you never know anyways. So you're better off giving it a shot. And even if you come close to what you want to be able to accomplish, at least you tried, versus saying, "Oh, I didn't." When I was in real estate in Beverly Hills, one of the things that I always found, because I worked with a lot of older people who were selling their homes, and I always found it just really intriguing, their history and the things that they did and the places that they went to. And I would always ask them, you know, whether they were in their 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s, I would always say, what is the, you know, what is something you wish you would have, or what is something that you regret? Just because they were always really interesting, smart people to talk to. And I'll never forget it. They all would tell me the same thing. I wish I would have taken more risks. I wish I wouldn't have been so conservative. I wish I wouldn't have worried what other people thought. It was very consistent. They all said the same things. So, you know, I took that, working there for almost 10 years, as, you know what, I'm just gonna always go for it. I'm gonna give it a shot, and I'm gonna see how it works.
The thing is, you don't have regrets of the things you tried and failed at, or didn't succeed at, or they didn't quite go your way. You don't ever sort of worry about those things. But you know, in long time, you know, in the future, you always will regret those things that just could have been. Or what if I just did this? Or what if I just? That's one of the reasons why I live a life with no regrets. Why I try and do everything that, you know, is possible for me to do. I have short, medium, and long-term goals, and I'm always achieving them and reassessing them and all of that. And that's because when I was younger, I missed out on an opportunity to play for Wales, rugby.
Oh, wow.
My biggest passion in life. I had trials and I didn't go to them. At the time, my mum and dad were divorced, and you know, I didn't have anyone I used to go to rugby on my own. You know, I was sort of very independent from a young age, and didn't really have a lot of support around me. And I got trials and I never went. And it's one of the things I know, if I'd have made it into a professional sports person, I'd have been one of the best professional sports people ever, because I'm very determined, I'm very driven. Or closed on
I agree 100%. So I got to ask you, what made you not go to the trials? I mean, seriously.
I think we were on holiday at the time or whatever. You know, I should have just said, well, listen, I'm not going away, or you know, whatever. But I had an invitation to go and do some training for the WRU at youth level, like, you know, and I also had Cardiff trials as well, and that they didn't go well for me as well, because I didn't have my boots, which is a very integral part of playing. Just things just didn't work out, and that's my biggest regret in life, is that one, I was from a divorced family and I didn't have the support at the time. I wish I did have support, but I just didn't. And two, I wasn't able to do it on my own, and I should have fought harder for what is my ultimate passion in life, and what I should have been, for what I believe I was born to do. But as one door closes, another opens, and I put that same passion, energy, competitiveness, sporting nature, and all of that into a career in sales, and that's, you know, and that's done well, and that's actually now opened up the door and been the platform for me to be what I want to be in life now, which is a global speaker. And I don't want to be a global speaker because I want to be a global speaker. I just like helping people, and I believe if I get into a position of being in a global spot, then I can help more people. And to me, I'm into efficiency. So I'd rather help 1 billion people rather than, I don't mind helping one person. If I said in my podcast, though, if I just help one person get through lockdown, or get a bit of positivity in their life, or a bit, then it's done its job. It's help one person. But I just think, well, if I'm going to put all of my time and effort in and help people, I'll try and reach as many people as possible, rather than just help one person, because I could be more impactful then. I could be of more use and more benefit to the world and to society than just helping one person. So I don't mind if all I'm ever going to do is help one person in life, and so be it. But why not try to impact and help as many people as possible? And so I think as one door closes, another one opens. And so I've had a great life, and you know, that was my one big regret. But it's probably been one of the driving forces to why I don't miss out on other opportunities. You know what I mean? I sort of say yes to most things. You know, there's a lot of people, like I've gone and volunteered at business expos for a friend of mine's businesses and all sorts of things. And people, most people will be like, well, I'm not going to go to London and work a couple of days for nothing. But I'll go and do it for nothing, because one, I'm helping them as a small business who can't afford to pay me. I'm helping them grow, which makes me feel good. Yeah. And two, though, you don't know whatever opportunities are going to come from that. So many people are always in the what's in it for me mode, or I'm not getting out of bed for less than this and that. Whereas to me, I just want to help people. I want to have a big impact on the world, to do whatever I can to leave a legacy and to be of benefit. I just think you only got one life, you might as well live it to its fullest potential, rather than operating at 20-30% of what you could have been. And which is what most people do. Most people never really grow beyond adulthood. They grow intensely for like 1 to 20 years, and then they stop growing from 20 to 60 years when they're capable of still growing at the same rate if they choose to. It's just whether you choose to or not. And I want to help more people make that choice, inspire them to make that choice, to live their best life.
I can just see it. I think that I think one of your talks should be no regret, because I think that what you learned from the rugby experience was a very positive one, and it has turned you into this driven, amazing individual, and helping so many people out there like you're doing on a global basis, and being a global speaker, you're there. And I think that's a really great story to share, because so many people can relate to that, of having an opportunity to do something and just deciding not to for whatever reason. There's always a variety of different reasons, but that's a great platform to discuss. And, because you're doing that. And I think too, the other, it's really important, and I firmly believe it should show up. A lot of it is when someone asks you to do something and helps with something, you do it and you show up. And I do that a lot, where I don't know exactly where it's going to go or what the benefit is, but I just know that being there, being active, and wanting to be of service comes back to you tenfold.
That's right. I decided to be a global speaker, and I suppose I am a global speaker now, but I want to be.
Yes,
I'm in the division I'm in the global speaker division. I'm just low down on the run, looking to get towards the top of the run, so that's my mission. But you might as well aim for the number one spot. You might as well aim for the top, and then if you don't get there, you still enjoyed yourself and you got as high as you could have got. But if a lot of people don't aim, they don't think big, and they don't aim for that top spot. To me, if you're going to do something, you might as well do it to the best of your ability. And I've always been successful in most of the things I've done in life. So I don't set myself limits like so many people do. So many people have limited beliefs that they're not good enough, or they're not, if somebody else is capable, they're flesh and bones and blood. If they can do it, you can do it. There's nothing different about them. They're not superhuman beings. They may be just more experienced, or, have honed their craft for longer, but they're not superhuman. They're just people. And I think people just need to understand that you're capable of doing and being anything you want to be, as long as you don't limit yourself at any level below that expectation. So I expect to be the best at whatever I do, and I work hard trying to get there. And wherever I end up is wherever I end up. It doesn't really matter. I think that's too many people don't think big enough. They don't try hard enough. They don't take enough action. They're not in it long enough and patient long enough to wait until they get better and they're able to become good. They pull out too early, and they give up on their dream and their life ambition when they've got to learn persistence and determination and drive, and just keep at it, because life's a long time. There's a lot of time for you to get it wrong and get it right again.
Amen. I agree with you 100%. Everything that you said is absolutely true. And now remember, you're already number one in Wales, which is spectacular. So now you're on the road to achieve what you want to achieve. There's no doubt about it.
That's right. And obviously you said that I can speak at your summit in March, which we did talk about a bit earlier on. So tell us a little bit more. You did mention where the idea of the summit come from. Tell us a little bit about the intention of the summit, and who you've got there so far, and that sort of thing, and when it is, and how people can get in touch with it, and all of that sort of thing. Plug it a bit.
Okay, sure, yeah. So the summit. So the other thing that was fun for me when this whole COVID started was I spent a lot of time researching and doing different things on the internet, researching everything from, just everything, because I had the time. And what I realized is, there's so many amazing, interesting things and aspects and different people out there, but nobody really puts just a buffet of people. I call it a buffet of people with different niches. So what's fun about my Soaring Summits is that it's something different. It's a life coach, it's a transformational, it's an acting coach, it's a psychic, it's an astrologer. It's all different people from all different niches in life. And so literally when you sit down, you have 30 different people like a buffet to choose from and to listen to and get advice from, versus having to do all of the research yourself. And then with the Soaring Summit, you have their contact information. So you can reach out to them and you can talk with them and pick and choose the people that you want to build a relationship with. And that's what it's all about, is making it easier for people who don't spend tons of time just surfing the internet, where they can sit down and have a group of people to learn from 30 different areas in life. I mean, everything. It's just incredible. Ministers, holistic medicine, people who are 60 years old and never been on any prescriptions, are totally healthy based on their plant food-based diets. I mean, just incredible stuff. Like, you could take all of these 30 people and you feel like you would just be like this great, amazing person if all these 30 people just surrounded you all of the time. So yeah, you can check it out though. It's at it's just www.soaringsummit.com, and you can check it out there. It's registration is $88, and it's January 14th, 15th, and 16th. And you'll get all of the contacts for all of the speakers, and also the recording version. And it's from 9 to 2 Pacific time, 3 days in a row. Speakers are every 30 minutes. And so, yeah, I'm super excited for you to participate in the March, because I got 2 filled up for January and lots of people wanted to participate. So I said, well, we'll do it again in March.
Yes, brilliant, brilliant. And, I work at a company called Intrabiz, which do a similar sort of thing, but a lot of their speakers are in the sort of personal development or sales and marketing space. So yours sounds a bit more diverse than that. And they did a global summit at the end of November, and they're doing 3 more in the new year. I think they're doing March, July, and October or something. I'm going to be speaking at those 3 summits as well. And I'm looking to do my own one in May, my own summit. And you've kindly invited me to your March as well, so I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, I'll put up there a link into the description of my podcast and the YouTube to the Soaring Summit, so people can click on and register for January and March, where I'm going to be speaking as well. And I'll help you to promote it on all my social media, because I've got a global audience of people who attend those sort of summits and also speak at those sort of summits as well. Because for the last 3 months, I've been mostly connecting with entrepreneurs and speakers and coaches from around the world who like to speak at those sort of things. I can definitely connect you to some people as well. Like I said as well, you're welcome to come to my mastermind. There's a few of those people there as well, speakers and podcasters and all that sort of thing. And a lot of them have got podcasts as well, so you can promote your event on.
I would love that. I would love that. Now, for the mastermind, I think I'm going to go with the sunglasses like you.
yeah, great. That's good. Yeah, another person whose future's so bright you've got to wear shades. That's good. And yeah, the thing is, one day I'm gonna, maybe live in a hot part of the world like California. I quite like Miami. Maybe. I've always loved Ibiza. I've been there 5 times in 20 years. So every 4 years I go to Ibiza. And my heart and my head is on a beach, and my body's physically sat in Wales, where it's a lot more wetter and windier. But I wear my sunshades because one day I'm going to be operating my business empire or doing my global speaking from a laptop on a beach somewhere. And that's how I'm going to spend the rest of my days. So I just got the sunglasses on, getting myself ready for that time.
Well, next time, I broke my ankle in June, so it's been healing, and now I'm finally able to walk 100%. But in January, they've told me I can start walking on the beach again, which I'm just a couple blocks from. So when I go there, I will FaceTime you on my phone, and so you can get that full vibe immediately.
Brilliant, brilliant. I'm always happy to take a FaceTime of a lovely, beautiful beach. So that would be lovely. And actually, one of my missions in life has always been to travel the globe in style. I never did the backpacking thing. That's not my cup of tea. I'd much rather see all the stylish parts of the world than the rough ones, than the ones you can only afford to enter with your backpack on. So I've always I put off the backpacking. I thought at one point in my life, I'm going to just travel the world in style and see all of the lovely places. And luckily, I've been to some lovely places already, places like Cuba and Hawaii and Vegas and Ibiza and the British Virgin Islands and all these sort of beautiful places. But I'm looking to get to, as many of the beautiful places of the world as possible. But at some point, I may well do a speaking tour, or I may well do go out and record a podcast and YouTube episodes of people in real life at some point. So you never know. You might get me. We might have a walk on that beach one day, and we'll do for the YouTube. So it's a good thing about.
That sounds spectacular.
Good thing about building contacts up from around the world, like a lot of us have been in this.
That sounds awesome. I'll take you up on that.
Yeah, great. There's lots of places you can go partying in the world now with other people rather than on your own, which is one of my favorite things. I do like to have a good party and a good.
I love it.
Yeah, that's although I'm very Welsh, one of my grandparents was from Dublin. That's the Irish in me. The need to go traveling and to have a drink wherever you go is definitely the Irish in me.
Oh, speaking of, we watched just the greatest movie, one of my favorite movies that I watched during COVID, which is Fisherman Friends.
Haven't seen it.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't, but it sounds good. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, check it out. It's a true story based out of Cornwall, and just an adorable story about fishermen and singing, and how they are still to this day an amazing fisherman group of fishermen that are amazing folk singers.
That's right. I've seen it advertised. They sing the old they call them shanty songs or something. The old.
Yes.
I've seen the
when you talk
advertising.
about Dublin, it just made me think about it. It's one of my favorite movies that I watched during COVID. It was spectacular.
Yeah, well, the Celts, which Wales are Celts, Scotland and Ireland are Celts in the UK. The English not so much, but the Welsh, the Irish, and the Scottish pretty much, and the Cornish is the Celtic part of England, if you like, and also Yorkshire up north is the more where the Celts of the old England dispersed to. And the Celts, once they're in a pub and there's alcohol involved, they all revert to that sort of singing and camaraderie and all of that. So that's a big part of Celtic culture.
Well, you talk about backpacking. My son is going to college in the fall, my first child. And my goal is I've never done the whole backpack of Europe and across the water. So my goal is to come over and visit all of my new friends over there in the UK, like yourself, and do bring a backpack, because it's just easy with 3 teenagers and a backpack to go wherever and get on the train and jump from country to country. I mean, what an incredible opportunity.
Yeah, that sort of backpacking, that's something I've got 2 destinations in the world that I'd like to do that with. I'd probably like to do it more in like a camper van and say a backpack. And that's two of my life goals. One is Route 66 all the way across America. And obviously that is a big one for a lot of Brits anyway. The Route 66 is. Because I like
you definitely want a car for that one.
yeah, you definitely want a car or a trike or a bike. Something that's takes the weight off though. But also I'd love to do the same thing. I've been pretty much over most of the big countries of Europe, but I haven't been to all the unusual countries of Europe, the smaller, lesser known countries. I'd love to do that as well myself. I'd love to get a camper van and go around all the countries that you wouldn't necessarily go on holiday for a week or two to. But you'd like to do one day. I'm talking about places like Romania, Hungary, Bulgaria. I'd like to see all of Europe in like one whistle-stop travel trip.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Well, you guys, with the whole Europass, it's an incredible thing to be able to get it. You can go, I have it right on my wall here because it's happening. It's like, I'm just like you you write everything down, you read it every day. This is the Eurorail.
Yeah. Oh, you
But yeah, so
a
10-day pass is, I think, $698, and you can go 10-day pass, 7 different countries.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that, can you?
Well, yeah, and with things like are you friends with Kevin Bedford or Bedsford? You know Kevin?
Yes, the travel guy.
Yeah, I joined the travel
From-
club.
From Cornwall.
Yeah, I joined the travel club, and so I'm going to put that all to use and use that travel club.
Okay, good. Yeah, yeah. Well, I've done, like, from the UK, the big countries to go to in Europe are France, Italy, Spain, Portugal, and Greece, I would say, probably. And, you know, maybe a bit of Germany as well. But, you know, mostly France, Spain, Italy, Greece, and Portugal. I haven't done Portugal, but I've done France, Spain, and Italy. I've done Greece, and I've done Sweden. I've been to quite a lot of the big countries of Europe, but I haven't been to Germany. I haven't been to all the smaller countries north of Germany. I haven't been to a lot of the Eastern Europe, because obviously a lot of those were Russia, and they were USSR countries before they come into the Europe. So yeah, you know, it's always nice. I think it's lovely, you know, and sample different cultures and different experiences. And I love food, especially more spicier food. You know,
I love, you know, when I was in high school, I went on a youth exchange to Germany, and it was so fun. And but while I was there, because of the food and the beverages, I gained like 20 pounds because it was all just way too good.
yeah. I was the same. I did a cruise around Hawaii, and then that was 11 days. I spent a day or two in Hawaii before that, and I think did 10 days in, no, was it 7 days in Vegas? And I put on about a stone and a bit, I think, you know, in 21 days, 21 days on holiday. I think I put on easily over a stone. But
Yeah,
they do like
well,
to
Hawaii and Vegas are great places to go, and the food in Vegas, you can't get enough of it.
no, they like to supersize everything as well, like, you know. So,
Oh, that's so fun.
and you said you're putting on a buffet of people for your summit. They know how to do some buffets in Vegas.
No, no, it is. It's a buffet of beautiful people. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it sounds like a bit like my 250 guests I've had on my entrepreneur chat series. You know, there's a lot of interesting people from around the world on there as well. So this is just going to be like a 3-day intensive version of that. So I think I'll probably join for January and get myself a seat at the buffet before I can get myself a space on the table.
Well, you are definitely welcome, because you are going to be there in March, and it will be spectacular with you in March, no doubt about it.
Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, just one more time for people to get in touch with our summit. Give
Sure.
so
check it out. It's the soaringsummit.com. Just soaring, SOARING, soaringsummit.com. And just check it out. You can see everything there. And of course, you can always get me on WhatsApp. My number is 424-288-1364. And my email is just the initial M at Megaze, MEGAZEE.com. And I'm here to help. And for people, we have some of the slots filled in March, but if there are people that are interested in participating and being a speaker at my summit, I'm always welcome to talk to people and get them involved and get your voice out there and get it heard.
Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, that's great. So I know lots of people I can send your way anyway, you know, speakers and stuff. So, you know, I'll direct some people to you. That's once I have a chat with someone and I get to know them well, I put them on my map of the world as a red pin, and I'm looking to fill the whole world up with red pins slowly but surely. But you know, I've got a nice a map of the world in red pins, which is where all the people I know are congregated. And
stick a red dot for Meghan in California.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. And then when I get other people on in the future, then I know someone and I get to find out a little bit more about them. Then when I'm speaking to someone else, names just start popping up in my head of who I should be recommending and directing them to. So so I've got a couple for you as well, which I think you should get involved in. It's going to help you get more speakers over time, and also a place where you can promote your summit as well. And that is a friend of mine, Tracy, and another friend, Dawn. They run a Facebook group called iWow, which is Inspirational Women of the World.
Oh, cool.
And it's 4,500 women from around the world. A lot of them were speakers and coaches and that sort of thing. So you should check out that on Facebook. It's Facebook groups. It's called Inspiration Women of the World, IWOW for short. And yeah, you should definitely connect with Tracy and Dawn, who run that group. And Tracy also runs IntroBiz, which is where I'm a sales and marketing director, and we're doing the 3 summits next year, and we just done one in November as well. So Tracy's a good speaker as well. So you know, she speaks on a lot of these events. So you know, maybe you might be able to do a deal with Tracy. It'd be worthwhile joining the group.
Absolutely, I'll look her up and find her for sure.
Tracy Smolinski, her name is Tracy, and she would be great for speaking on your summit, and would be able to potentially exchange a spot on her summit. Yeah,
sounds great.
So that would be good. And yeah, and you come to my mastermind, and there'll be lots of people there. We meet up usually on a Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock, which is 1 o'clock. No, it'll be 12 o'clock. No, it'll be 11 o'clock your time. 11 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday, or we meet up at either 1 or 2 o'clock on a Sunday, but that's too early for you. I think that would be 4 o'clock in the morning. No, would it be?
Yeah, Sundays are my day where I sleep in, go to church, have brunch, just totally relax.
You relax. It's a non-working day. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, but it would be too early for you anyway.
Day of rest.
Yeah, we get people on from America, but it's normally East Coast rather than West Coast in the mastermind on a Sunday. But the Wednesday one would be a good one for you to join.
I would love to be involved. Absolutely. There's nothing better than meeting some more new people, and you have an extraordinary group of people around you. And you know, this podcast that you do is spectacular. And so, you know, I commend you and tell you congratulations.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot for that. And I appreciate the feedback. So, you know, whether people enjoy it or not, anyway, I love it. So, you know, I'm always going to do it. And, you know, and I was doing a lot of episodes, like I say, June, July, but I've been helping out IntroBiz, who do these online global events. I've been helping them grow globally in September. So I only have time to do my podcast evenings and weekends now, which is great for me, though, because my evening time is daytime America. So I mostly get American and Canadian guests on. And, you know, that's good for me, because I'm very much more, I would say, American, Canadian mindseted than a lot of Brits and Europeans can be, you know, more half glass full, you know, positive mental attitude. I'm into all of the, you know, growth and personal development and all of that, which seems to be a bigger thing in North America than it is in the rest of the world. You know, it tends to be, which is why I think, you know, for me, I set my sights on cracking America, and if I crack America, crack the world.
You're on your way. There's no doubt about it if you haven't done it already.
I'm on my way. I'm working hard at it. And the thing is, like I say, I don't see it as work. It's fun, isn't it? It's meeting new people, having a great conversation and helping people. You know, it's just fun at the end of the day. So this has been a pleasure. It's been great having you on my podcast. And I look forward to the next time, because, you know, I'm sure there'll be another time. I'll happily have you on again, and we can talk about you know, the Soaring Summit, maybe when it's a bit closer to go, and maybe we can have a chat about the type of people you've got on there then, and we can build up the excitement and anticipation for people to look forward to meeting those people at the event in January.
I would love that, and you're a pleasure to visit with. I feel like I got the opportunity to go leave my home and have a cup of coffee with Mike Armstrong.
Brilliant. Well, lovely to meet you, and have a great day, okay?
Okay, I'll see you later.
All the best. Bye-bye.